From losing $50,000 to convicted felons,
So I had to pay $5,000 out of pocket.
The insurance policy in this case is for $50,000 because she failed to appear in court. She was on an ankle monitor and she cut the monitor off.
to launching an OnlyFans that kept everyone talking.
Webcamming, OnlyFans, all that. And she's the one that got me into it and made my OnlyFans for me.
Let's dive into what happened to some of the most forgotten Love After Lockup cast members and see how their post-show lives have completely spiraled out of control. Starting with one cast member who proves that some people never learn their lesson. This 45-year-old from Las Vegas has made dating convicted felons his full-time hobby, and honestly, it's become pretty pathetic to watch. Sean first appeared on Love After Lockup Season 3 with Destiny Folsom, a 28-year-old woman from California who was serving time for various charges. The whole thing was a disaster from day one, but Sean was completely blind to all the red flags. He was so desperate to find love that he ignored every single warning sign that came his way.
Escape and drugs, and I don't hold anything against her because, being on drugs and stuff makes you do things you probably wouldn't normally do. Destiny and I have been together for 9 months now. Hopefully we get married one day because she just makes me happy.
The Destiny situation was absolutely wild. This woman played Sean like a fiddle from the very beginning. She convinced him to send her money while she was locked up, and then when she got out, she immediately started acting sketchy.
I can, I guess. So far, I spent $35,000 on Destiny. Phone calls and commissary. I make a pretty good living, so I don't mind doing it to help her and to talk to her.
The biggest red flag was when Destiny broke Sean's rules and took off on him, stealing his car and money.
No. The car wasn't hers. The ring, nothing that she had was hers. It was mine.
Sean actually gave Destiny a large sum of his own money, thinking she was going to use it to get her life together. Instead, she took the cash and disappeared. Can you imagine being that naive? This man literally handed over a significant amount of money to someone he barely knew, and she ran off with it like it was nothing.
The insurance policy in this case is for $50,000 because she failed to appear in court. She was on an ankle monitor and she cut the monitor off. She's a flight risk.
After Destiny burned him, you'd think Sean would take a break from dating criminals, right? Wrong. The guy immediately started looking for his next prison pen pal. It's like he has some kind of addiction to toxic relationships with people who have nothing to lose. That's when Sarah Isaacs entered the picture during the spin-off Life After Lockup. Sarah was another convicted felon who caught Sean's attention, and once again, he dove headfirst into another doomed relationship.
For Sarah, I've been talking to another inmate.
Are you kidding me?
No.
I met Sarah the same way that I've met Destiny. I was actually writing to both of them at the same time.
Sarah had been imprisoned for involuntary manslaughter charges, and just like with Destiny, Sean thought he could be the one to save her. The relationship with Sarah was just as messy as you'd expect. Sarah had her own set of problems, including issues with drugs and a history of bad decisions, but Sean was so desperate for companionship that he ignored all the warning signs once again. What made the Sarah situation even more complicated was that she had a daughter from her previous relationship, and Sean tried to play stepdad to her child while barely knowing their mother.
The hardest thing about being in prison for me was being away from my daughter. That every single day bothered me. She's just a little girl she doesn't deserve.
Things got even more complicated when Sarah got pregnant. Suddenly, Sean was looking at becoming a father in his late 50s with a woman who had a criminal record and a history of substance abuse. The whole situation was like watching a car crash in slow motion. As of now, he's officially married to Sarah in August 2021, and they welcomed their daughter, Adeline, at the end of 2022. Sean relocated from California to Ohio to be with Sarah after her release, leaving behind his 6 children from a previous relationship with Kelly Corallo. Kids whom, fans say, he largely neglected emotionally and financially.
Around 8 years ago, we have 6 kids, and they all live with her. They don't know that, I'm dating somebody.
Meanwhile, Sarah has been open about the stress in their relationship, citing Sean's demanding schedule and parenting gaps as significant sources of tension. These days, Sean is still making the same mistakes over and over again, and it's honestly depressing to watch someone throw their life away like this. But Sean seems determined to keep repeating the same pattern until he has nothing left. But wait until you hear about the cast member who got arrested for some of the most serious charges we've ever seen. Talk about a fall from grace that nobody saw coming. Josh Hyatt first appeared on Love After Lockup with Cheryl Childers, and while their relationship was chaotic, nobody expected his post-show life to take such a dark turn. Josh originally served time for bank robbery, and when he got out, he seemed like he might be trying to turn things around.
Josh is not a serial killer. He's incarcerated for bank robbery. He's been incarcerated for 6 years now.
He and Cheryl had their problems, lots of them, but Josh gave the impression he wanted to rebuild his life. Fans saw him talk about wanting to go straight, stay out of trouble, and maybe even settle down. But things didn't end there. His romance with Cheryl fizzled out amid drama, and there's no confirmed record of any serious relationship after that until the bombshell arrests. But here's where everything unraveled. In October 2024, Josh was arrested in Colorado as part of a massive drug trafficking ring.
I left everything I loved behind it for him, and now Josh has turned into this complete jerk, and it kills me inside.
Police seized roughly 13.5 kilograms of fentanyl, 5.4 kilograms of meth, and other drugs during the investigation. This was a large-scale operation that law enforcement said could have flooded communities with deadly substances. Josh was indicted on 11 felony counts, including major drug trafficking charges. With a $1 million bond set, he's currently sitting in custody at Colorado's 4 Mile Correctional Center, facing the possibility of spending decades or if not life behind bars. It's a complete 180 from the man fans saw on Love After Lockup, who once claimed he wanted to leave his criminal past behind.
The more you start paying on your restitution charges, the faster you'll be able to get your driver's license.
But I don't want to just start making payments. So what I got to tell him to release the hold, and then I'll agree to pay the $100 a month.
To make matters worse, his arrest was part of a long-term investigation targeting an entire drug network. According to reports, this wasn't a case of Josh being in the wrong place at the wrong time. He was allegedly an active part of a high-level trafficking operation. As of now, Josh is awaiting trial, and his future doesn't look promising. His relationship with Cheryl is long over, and now his story serves as a cautionary tale, someone who had a real chance to start fresh, but instead dove back into the criminal underworld on a far deadlier scale. Speaking of people whose lives took the most heartbreaking turn, let's talk about a cast member whose story ended in the most tragic way possible. Tracy Wagaman's story on Love After Lockup started with chaos and ended in heartbreaking tragedy. She first appeared in Season 2 in 2019 after serving nearly 8 years in prison for fraud and probation violations, and from the moment she stepped on screen, viewers knew they were in for a wild ride.
I was in this little county jail, and it just ate me alive in there. I mean, I'm stressing, my hair was falling out, and the food was just horrendous. So I quit eating my food. I'm so skinny now.
Viewers watched her whirlwind wedding to Clint Brady, which infamously turned into a disaster when she disappeared on their wedding night to get drugs. It was the kind of reality TV moment that cemented her as one of the most unforgettable cast members in the franchise. But it also gave the world a glimpse of her struggles with addiction that would follow her until the end.
Thank you, Pastor Paul. Congratulations to you, man. Thank you.
I haven't done anything wrong.
The following months were just as messy. In August 2019, Tracy was arrested again in Texas for felony drug possession, proving that her fight with substance abuse wasn't over. Her marriage to Clint soon crumbled, and by June 2021, the two had officially divorced.
Everybody has regret, but what can I do?
We both got arrested, and I got out this morning after seeing a judge, so.
Around this time, she began dating Luke Loera, who would become the father of her second child. Even while pregnant, Tracy often spoke to fans on social media, openly discussing her addiction struggles and making it clear that staying clean wasn't easy. On June 25, 2021, Tracy gave birth via C-section to a baby girl at 37 weeks. She shared with her followers that both she and her baby were healthy, and for a moment, it looked like her life might be taking a hopeful turn. But that hope didn't last. Just 7 days after giving birth, on July 1st, 2021, Tracy was found dead in a Las Vegas hotel room. She was only 41 years old. The coroner later ruled her death an accidental overdose caused by methamphetamine toxicity. Her death shocked fans and devastated her family, who revealed that Tracy had been battling addiction for over 2 decades. Her brother Mark spoke publicly about her struggles and launched a fundraiser to cover her funeral costs, with the remainder going toward her 2 children and a domestic violence charity. Before her passing, Tracy had reportedly arranged for her newborn daughter to be adopted by a loving family, ensuring her baby would have stability she couldn't provide. There were also rumors that Tracy had ventured into adult content creation after leaving the show, possibly launching an OnlyFans account to make money, though those details were never fully confirmed. Her story is a sobering reminder of how quickly things can spiral out of control. Tracy Wagaman's journey ended just as her next chapter as a new mother was beginning, leaving behind 2 children, a devastated family, and fans who will remember her for both her wild personality and her tragic end. But while some stories end in tragedy, others spiral into an endless cycle of legal troubles and bad decisions. If you want to see what happens when someone gets caught in the middle of the most toxic love triangle ever, just look at Shane Whitlow's story.
I've been talking to Lacey in prison for about 3 months. The first impression I thought of Lacey when I seen her pictures, I was just blown away by how beautiful she was. I thought it was kind of like too good to be true. I did feel as though at first I was getting catfished.
This guy appeared on Love After Lockup with Lacey, but things were messy from the start. Mostly because Lacey was also still involved with her on-again, off-again ex, John Slater. Shane had been serving time for malicious wounding and possession of a firearm when he met Lacey through a prison pen pal website. Torn between her 2 felon boyfriends, Lacey eventually chose Shane, and the 2 tied the knot. They even had a daughter together, Summer Rain.
Him going and blabbing to Shane that John is out, he definitely betrayed my trust, and I feel like he's just butting into my marriage in places that he doesn't need to be.
But the drama didn't end there. Every time she had issues with Shane, Lacey would run right back to John, making the whole thing feel like a never-ending soap opera. The love triangle was pure chaos from the beginning. Lacey couldn't seem to make up her mind, and Shane and John competed for her attention in the most self-destructive ways possible. One day she was playing house with Shane, and the next day she was back with John, fueling a cycle that was as exhausting for viewers as it was for everyone involved. Shane and Lacey's marriage was doomed from the start. Between Lacey's ongoing connection with John and their explosive fights, the relationship quickly spiraled.
I haven't made the best choices with men in my life, you included at times, but I don't know why I can't let you go.
Eventually, things took a serious toll on Shane's mental health. In late 2021, Shane went missing for several days and was later hospitalized for psychiatric evaluation. Lacey publicly acknowledged his struggles and thanked fans for their concern, but their marriage was falling apart behind the scenes. By 2022, Shane and Lacey officially separated, and the situation got only messier. Shane found himself fighting for custody of their daughter, which led him to launch a GoFundMe to raise money for legal fees. The custody battle was ugly, with Lacey reportedly using Shane's criminal past and mental health struggles against him in court. Shane, meanwhile, just wanted the chance to be a consistent presence in his daughter's life. But Shane's troubles didn't stop there. In August 2024, he was arrested in Virginia Beach on a felony animal cruelty charge after allegedly killing Lacey's cat. The charge was later reduced to a misdemeanor, and he served a short jail sentence. By December 2024, Shane took to social media to announce that his marriage to Lacey was officially over, blasting her for alleged infidelity, drug issues, and losing custody of their kids. These days, Shane is trying to rebuild his life after the public implosion of his marriage and his legal troubles. He's been open about his mental health struggles and continues to seek help, but his story is a cautionary tale of how quickly things can spiral when you're stuck in a toxic cycle. The saddest part? Shane seemed like he genuinely wanted to be a good husband and father, but instead of building a stable family, he ended up with a failed marriage, limited access to his child, and a string of criminal charges. It's a painful reminder of how much damage one messy relationship can do when it drags you down instead of lifting you up. But if you think Shane had it rough, wait until you hear about the cast member who couldn't stop getting arrested for increasingly serious crimes. When Chance Pitt first appeared on Love After Lockup with Taylor George, their relationship looked like it might actually work. Chance was serving time for a 2014 bank robbery, and Taylor, a single mom from Missouri, fell for him while he was behind bars.
Chance was calling my phone trying to get a hold of him, and we started a friendship, and then we got attached to each other.
Taylor was only 22 years old when she started dating Chance, and she was completely smitten with the idea of having a bad boy boyfriend. She would drive hours to visit him in prison and send him money for commissary.
I don't really think that I'm attracted to inmates, but I like the one that I got.
Taylor's family was worried about her getting involved with a convicted felon, but she was convinced that Chance was different from other criminals. On the show, viewers watched as Taylor defended him to her family, hoping his release would give them a real chance to start over. When Chance got out of prison, he and Taylor moved in together and even welcomed a baby boy, Mason, in 2022. But behind the scenes, things weren't going as smoothly as Taylor hoped. Chance battled personal issues, including financial instability, legal troubles, and alcohol use. The couple's relationship quickly turned messy on screen. Taylor struggled to balance raising her kids with the stress of dating a recently released felon, and Chance had a hard time adjusting to life on the outside.
Why are you so on if I'm eating my pizza?
Because you usually eat with me, and you're not. And I'm wondering why.
Yeah, it's 8 o'clock at night. Why would I feel like eating at 8 o'clock at night?
Oh, I think I'm gonna go get my butt in the shower because it's 8 o'clock at night.
He showed controlling tendencies and got into heated arguments with Taylor and her family, which set off plenty of red flags for fans. And then came his downfall. In December 2023, Chance's life took a dramatic turn when he was arrested for DUI, leaving the scene of an accident, stealing a car, and using a stolen credit card. Bond was initially set at $25,000 before being lowered. By April 2024, prosecutors hit him with multiple felony charges, including tampering with a motor vehicle and providing false information to police.
I feel so horrible because I feel like I'm responsible for Taylor crying. I feel like I'm just a little too outspoken on some of the things I'm thinking. Taylor doesn't deserve that.
As if that wasn't bad enough, in August 2024, Chance was arrested again, and this time in Indiana on charges of domestic battery, DUI, and driving without a license after allegedly pushing his new girlfriend, Alyssa, out of a moving car.
On August 15th, after he allegedly threw his girlfriend Alyssa out of a moving car, and allegedly they got into this argument after he went to the casino.
By September 2024, Alyssa announced she was pregnant with his child, and shortly after, Chance missed a court hearing, prompting a warrant for his arrest. Instead of turning his life around after prison, Chance spiraled deeper into chaos, stacking up criminal charges that could put him behind bars for years. He's currently facing multiple felony cases, another baby on the way with Alyssa, and a long list of legal troubles that make his redemption story seem further out of reach than ever.
Alyssa ended up announcing not too long ago that she is currently pregnant with Chance's baby. So that means when Chance allegedly threw her out of this moving vehicle, that she was pregnant with his baby at the time.
The Love After Lockup community hasn't been shocked by his downfall, and it's more like disappointed. Chance had opportunities to change but keeps finding his way back into trouble, leaving fans wondering how much more Taylor, his kids, and now Alyssa will have to endure because of his choices. Now, let's talk about a cast member who turned her messy love triangle into what might be the biggest success story in Love After Lockup history. Lacey Whitlow's journey on Love After Lockup is one of those reality TV arcs that you can't stop watching no matter how messy it gets. She first appeared in Season 3, juggling a full-blown love triangle with two inmates, Shane Whitlow and John Slater, which instantly made her one of the most talked-about faces on the show.
My name's Lacey, and I'm from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Right now, I'm currently in a relationship with John. John is a guy that I had met in high school. We briefly dated.
It was chaotic from the start. She married Shane, but her connection with John lingered, turning every episode into an emotional roller coaster of screaming matches, reconciliations, and betrayals. Viewers couldn't tell whether she wanted love, attention, or just to keep the drama alive. But one thing was clear. Lacey knew how to keep herself at the center of the story. Once the camera stopped rolling, Lacey not only disappeared into obscurity like many of her castmates, she figured out how to make her TV notoriety work for her. With over 160,000 followers on her Instagram account, she started monetizing her personal brand. She offered $25 shoutouts on Cameo, partnered with companies like Sensi and Q Sciences, and turned her online presence into a steady stream of income. But her real game changer was OnlyFans. Under the name Casey Cash, Lacey went all in on adult content, offering high-quality videos, custom content, and subscriber exclusives. According to Distractify, she capitalized big time on the platform, and fan speculation suggests she's pulled in hundreds of thousands, maybe even hit the seven-figure mark. When you combine her consistent content output with her loyal fanbase and notoriety from the show, it's not hard to believe that she's made more money on OnlyFans than she ever could have during her reality TV days. The controversy didn't end there. Before she even joined the franchise, Lacey had filmed adult videos with fellow Love After Lockup cast member Nicole Bradley, and those collaborations resurfaced, adding fuel to the conversation about her post-show career. Instead of running from the attention, Lacey leaned into it, continuing to build her content empire and even winning awards within the adult entertainment industry under her alias. She managed to turn what started as a scandal into a profitable brand, something few reality stars have been able to pull off. From one of the franchise's messiest love stories to potentially becoming a self-made millionaire, Lacey's story is nothing short of wild. She went from being remembered for her prison love triangle to becoming one of Love After Lockup's most successful alumni, proving that sometimes the real hustle starts long after the cameras stop filming.
You want to be with me now?
No,
no.
I don't want to be with him. I was just hanging out with him because of what you did.
So, has Lacey Whitlow actually become a millionaire? She hasn't confirmed her earnings, but between OnlyFans, brand collaborations, and side hustles, it's easy to see why fans think she has. Distractify hints at huge numbers, and when you look at the way she's diversified her income, it's believable.